Hello everybody, and this is the final video from this game, and not for the reasons that you may think. Showing you an update. I haven't updated the board with Italy's move, but the entire British fleet is gone. All these ships are gone, and Italy's fleet is pretty much intact. They lost a few subs. So the Italian fleet is now sitting off Cairo. Um, Cairo does not have much in it anymore. Actually, I think these planes are gone as well. And these two planes are gone as well. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but yeah, the Italians are looking much stronger now. I think this might be gone. I haven't updated the board, and I'll tell you why. Because what happened was on the turn previous to the Italians is the Americans did a move that was legal, but now will no longer be legal because this is a playtest after all. We're playtesting a brand new rule set and kind of finding things as we go. So Captain G and Eggman here, obviously the Americans, they got sights on Tokyo, but they've only got 12 guys. None of their planes can make it. None of the big bombers they built can make it. So I thought I had a couple of turns. But there is a rule that was implemented, and it just basically, it's called the Seabees rule, which means that the United States only, after they've taken a territory, can plant an airbase. Now they have to say at the beginning of the round, but for $5, they can build an airbase anywhere they have just taken land. And they can do that once per round. So, and they can also repair an airbase. They can build one anywhere they want. So essentially America now looks like they can build air bases for $5 as long as it's one of their Seabees air bases. Now, the reason that came in was because what would happen is America would come and, take back Wake, but couldn't land any planes there. And so there's no scramble to maybe help out the Navy that is there, or maybe the Navy, broke up or whatever. And so Japan typically has got this big, massive, iron fist that's going to come in and just smash whatever. But now you can, get a little bit of help. You can get some scramble ability instantly. So what Captain G and Eggman did was they planned this out from the very beginning of the game. Their entire game strategy, from what I've been told, was based entirely on that one rule. So now what they're doing is they built these B-17s off here in San Francisco, pardon the shadow, and they can fly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and land there. They have movement of 7, but they could land there on their newly built airbase. And so they said, we're CBing that. And so all these planes can now come in, the 3 tacticals on their carriers, the 4 fighters in Midway, pardon me, and the bombers in San Fran can all fly to Tokyo and land there, as the rule was written at the start of this game. So obviously that rule is now no longer in the rule set. Because that essentially what it does is it hands America limitless kamikazes, because they don't have to actually land, because they're only going to land if they win. And so that's what happens. So I'm going to set up Tokyo as it looks now, and you can see the results of being able to bring all your planes and landing them in a place you just took. And so the game is over because I had $111, and it was pilfered. So I think Captain G made $236 or something this last round, and there's no chance for me to take it back. It's over. And even if I did take it back, I'm not going to have, because he took Fukuoka as well, so I'm not going to have any factories. Yeah, so it's the game ostensibly is over. So we're going to flip now, and in the next couple weeks we're going to start a new game where we're the Allies and they are the Axis, but we will not have the Seabees rule for us. So we're going to have to use it kind of as it was intended. This is not as it was intended, but as the rules go, it's perfectly legal. So kudos to Captain G and Eggman for dreaming up this disaster for us. And essentially, the Axis were doing pretty well here. We're kind of running the table at this point, and there was even talk of an early surrender by the Allies because there was no way could win. But they won via that rule. So, congrats to them. Congrats to the Allies for snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. And yeah, I'm going to show you what it looks like now and let you know, hopefully, when the new game's going to start. 1 second. Ta-da! Here you go. So this is what's in there now. They had 10 aircraft survive and a tank, and then they also took Fukuoka. So it's, yeah, you can see why that's that rule has been rewritten already, like just moments after this happened, because it's game breaking, right? And there really is no historical or gameplay reason for bombers from San Francisco to be able to bomb Tokyo, then land there that turn. It is possible for them to bomb the C zone with the 7, because they can go to 133, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can bomb the C zone and bomb the other one, 6, and then land if the Soviets had a spot for them to land up here, right? So they could do that. But in no iteration should bombers be able to fly from San Francisco to bomb Tokyo in World War II. That's yeah. So we've taken this rule. It's still being tweaked, but it looks like the main thing is going to be you can't suicide, kamikaze American aircraft. That's a Japanese thing. So now, in the flip game, of course, I'm going to be playing Commonwealth, and Triple Crown will be playing America and Russia, and KMT, of course. And so the CB's rule, we're still kind of not exactly sure. Feel free to add your thoughts below. My thoughts are the planes must have a legal move, right? You must have a legal move. So you must have a legal landing zone before the battle begins. So you can't just kamikaze things, right? So you couldn't, if you're here and you want to fly 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 5. So you could legally land on a carrier, but if there's no carrier within the zone, you can't CB's Wake Island because there's nowhere for your fighters to land. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. In my mind, and we're kind of talking, we're humming and hawing about different things. There's a limit of 3 planes. Maybe they're the ones that have to have been in on the attack. Some other ideas. I don't think he's there. But we're humming and hawing exactly how to do it, because we want to pay homage to the CBs. And the guy who came up with this idea, CB's Bill, I believe his dad or his granddad was actually a CB during the war. So the Americans, where they'd take or retake an island and build an airstrip on it in the next few days, right? Like it would be up and running, including ammo and fuel and repair and bunks and all the rest. Like it was all there. So, we're trying to add that flavor into the game and make it make sense gameplay wise. So anyway, there you go, Allied victory, and I hope there's another Allied victory next game. We shall see. The UK came into Madras. I was hoping to take this back, knowing that they'd come and take Calcutta. I was going to build up here and have a response. But the entire British fleet is now at the bottom of the ocean. In this part of the world, they now have 1 carrier with a couple of boats on it. And so I was going to take this back and just march all 5 guys into here. And then these 2 planes could assist. 1, 2, 3. So they could definitely assist. I could even, they'd land probably in Calcutta and be perfectly safe. Something that Captain G and Eggman didn't know was that this is as far as China can go. They can't go to Bangladesh and they can't go to Siam. They can take what we now call Southeast Asia, right? So Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia. They can take all of that. But they can't take Siam. And they certainly can't come down to Singapore because, again, that then is a script, right? Because as the KMT, this is what you would do every single game. You would come down here and take this because this is worth 2, this is worth 3, this is worth 1, this is worth 1, this is worth 3. So 3, 6, 9, 10. So these little things here are worth 10 bucks. Well, all of China, which is almost impossible to defend, is only worth 12. So hang on to Szechuan, hang on to this, and you're making more money than if you fought to keep all of this, right? So again, little things that are in the rule book that maybe get missed. And I gotta tell you, folks, we missed a ton of stuff in this. And I missed stuff because I was still playing 7.2 in my head. But all of us, every single player, messed up on a rule or messed up on the setup, and it's very difficult doing this YouTube war thing. If you've ever thought it's an easy task, it really isn't. It's easier with your basic Axis and Allies game, sure, and even BBR, where there's not quite the depth of units and type of unit. And number of territories. I mean, just the sheer number of territories is insane. And the rule set is quite a bit deeper. So there's going to be mess ups. Absolutely, every time. But we are going to try to minimize, though, that in our second round of this playtest. So we're going to be doing Ultra. I believe we're on 8.2. Might just be 8.1 yet. But if you go to Historical Board Gaming, I would wait until probably January and upload the rules for 1939. And we haven't changed the map. That's one thing we agreed on, was they're not going to make people buy a new map. This map is huge, and even the smaller maps, it's a very expensive proposition. I know with BBR there's lots of map changes, but you can get the map file and then go print it. You can print it on paper if you want, right? But these maps you have to actually purchase because the map file is not available for public consumption, nor should it be, because it's the property of Historical Board Gaming. So, having said all of that, I hope you've enjoyed what's gone on here. As you can see, the Germans are just heading across and bulking up over here, right? And the Allies, again, haven't really spent much money at all. They haven't spent a dime on boats except in Canada, and I think a couple of things here in Cairo, but really haven't spent any money on boats in the Atlantic. It's all gone full Pacific, and that's why there's really no pressure on Germany. So anyway, there you go, folks. That is the game. And for those of you wondering, why don't I try to take it back? Well, basically, it's just going to be a slow death. He's got 240 bucks to spend now. I've got nothing. So the attack I have, I can bring 2 veterans. I can bring these 5 guys. I can come up here, grab another guy. So I can land with 8 units. And you can use my planes and bombards and everything. But it's probably not going to work, and these guys could attack and all that. Let's just say it did work. Let's just say it absolutely worked. He just loads up with more bombers over here and does it again. Right, there's no point. And we're not going to switch the rule book in the middle of a game. So I know some of you might have been wondering, why don't you just try? Why don't you try? That's why, because with the way the rule's written now, there's no point. Which is too bad, because I do like coming back like a phoenix from the ashes, but you just couldn't do it. And if we say, okay, well, now we're going to change the rule, well, that would then make this, well, it wouldn't have been possible, and then there's the big discussion and all the rest. And we didn't want to go down that path, so we're just throwing this one up as an L for the Axis. And that was the goal of this game, was to make the Axis lose a little bit more often, because the Axis tend to win this game in the 7.2. They would tend to win the games quite often. And so we said, well, let's help out the Allies. But not this much. Not this much. All right, well, thanks for watching, folks, and I'm hoping to get a game of Anniversary in here shortly over the Christmas break, and hopefully I can get that done. If not, though, have yourself a Happy New Year, and hope you had a Merry Christmas. I'm having my Christmas today, my wife and son and I. My son's been working, so today is Christmas Day for us, and we're looking forward to having a good family time. And as always, folks, hug your loved ones. Right? Hug your loved ones. Thank your friends for playing. Get all those games in that you possibly can. And as always, may the dice be with you.